universe and everything.
Rather beautiful, isn't it? I'm on Stannick Road, one of my old stomping grounds. This bridge, I used to come and play in the water down here when I was a very young lad. It's all changed now. You can't actually drive up into Higham from here unless you first go on the bypass, which now cuts across the fields. Higham has expanded. It's the town of my birth, and I'm back here visiting it, trying to find some familiar places where I used to spend my time when I was a lad. Now this is the Stannick Road, and I used to cycle up this way for a couple of reasons. One reason to go for bike rides, and another reason, especially like, I don't know, when I was about 9, 10, 11, pre-teen, I had a girlfriend who lived at the farm up here, Sasha Clark. She had a sister Danielle and a brother William, and a mother who used to drive a green Renault 18, and she always seemed to be rowing with Clarky the farmer, her husband at the time. Now, we all lost touch when they divorced, and the mum took the 2 daughters and the son away to Northampton. Isn't it beautiful around here? This was my playground. So anyway, like I say, I'm going to try and find some of my old stomping grounds and reminisce and put it together into a video, which I'm going to call, well, it'll be part of my life, the universe and everything series. So this will be episode 42, as they all are, and because this was part of my life, my universe and my everything, and that was my playground. Wasn't I lucky? I'll show you some more of my playgrounds too, and show you some more memories. That way, I'll just go to the corner. This hill used to cripple me coming up here on a push bike that didn't have any gears, that had solid tyres. They probably had stabilisers at one point. I'm sure we came up here on the tricycle as well. Crazy, crazy days. Isn't it beautiful? I had to come today because the weather is so good. Yeah, rabbits in the hedgerow. Don't know if you can see them. Hope you can. You can't really see the farm. You see those trees just where the road curves in the front there. Behind where that car is, that was, probably still is, Clark's farm. And over that way you can probably just make out the spire from St Mary's Church, Higham Ferrers, which is where we're going to head back into right about now. Right, I'm standing on the footbridge over the bypass that runs across where the Stannick Road used to go. Stannick Road used to go just behind that sign there and down that side bit there, which is where we've just been. And this is the bypass to Rushden and Bedford and whatever. And I can honestly say hand on heart, being the old duffer that I am, that I can remember when all this was fields. Never thought I'd ever get old enough to say stuff like that. But progress is relentless and a lot quicker than you think. And you, Prescott, play safe, don't get run over. Hopefully you're just mousing. Anyway, onwards and upwards. A little short segment very soon. I've got to show you where it all began. So, Elizabeth Way. And those two houses there. The one on the left with the grey upstairs. At 7:20 on the morning of Monday the 11th of December 1967, I breathed my first in the back bedroom upstairs there. I was born in that house a bloody long time ago as well. So that's a short little aside. And down here used to be a path that we'd take all the way down to the brook and then up the other side to Clark's farm back in the day. I can't remember where it was now though. One of these. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go to the castle field. Before we get there, let's just have a quick look down Simpson Avenue and try and name check some people I remember from back in the day. Now then, who used to live down here? Which playmates, friends, enemies, girlfriends, etc. lived down here? Well, just off the top of my head, I can think of Donna Camps, Reg Seamarks, Chris Pack, Claire Driver. Anyone else that I can think of? Probably not. Right down the end there, at the, where you see that tree in the distance, that's the old A6, the Windmill Banks, and where I got off the bus and where I'll be getting on the bus again tonight. And the house on the corner there, that you can't see properly, it's far too small, was the Granfields. Next door to that was the Gibsons. Next door to that was us. Next door to that was the Morrisseys. Next door to them were the O'Rourkes. Next door to them were the Coxes. Who was at 17? Was that the Norrises? If so, the 18 was the Scarlets. So yeah, that's where I grew up, round here. Kind of homecoming. And this is Newman Street. And we moved to this street when we moved out of Elizabeth Way. And I can't remember if it was this road or King's Avenue. David Bouglas, Matthew Cooper. Yeah, number 8. I had the bedroom up there. Memories. Oh, and down here, Michael Bryant. I used to swap dinky toys with him. I think it was either that house or that house. Michael Bryant. Wonder how many of these people are still around here. That shop's got an extension now since I was here. When I was a lad, I'd get all my sweets there. Later on I'd get all my fags there, and probably me cans of Royal Dutch Lager, all of 2.5% proof. But there was a girl who lived there called Adele Betts, and she was absolutely gorgeous. jitty to Castlefield. Higham Ferrers had a castle, but it fell into ruin and the stone was taken away to help build Kimbolton School for boys. Cheers, Kimbolton. Would be great if we still had a castle. Well, we haven't, but we've still got the mound, we've still got a bit of the moat, and the entrance, the west entrance to the park up here is the old gate, or the old gate area, how you would get into the castle. That sign has literally been there as long as I've been here, and I don't just mean today, I mean ever in existence. Now this bit, this is the castle field. This is where the fair comes, where circuses turn up if we have a circus here. And generally, it's a good place to sprawl out, have a bit of a relax. Try and set fire onto the public information about the castle. See, there it is. Where is it? Where is it? I guess it would be over here. Oh, no, there's the church. Castle ruins there, it says. There's the fish ponds, they call it. So the castle ruins are right next to the church. The church is over there. So basically at the back of the Green Dragon Hotel, which is true. And I always used to play in here when I was a lad. Now there was a big tree here. We all used to climb it. It's a big old tree. We all used to climb, and some of us would fall from it. It's gone completely now. It's completely gone. But I remember Nick Collins. There was two twins in my class at school, Nick and Rob Collins. And it was all down here, climbing the tree, being boys, making camps, playing war. And Nick fell from the tree and had to get an ambulance to sort him out because he hurt his back pretty bad. Clearly he got over it, because he later went on to join the army. I think he was a commando or something. So obviously they fixed his back up all right. But yeah, this is now a nature walk. It used to just be paths made by lots of young scallywags, a bit like that one. All the paths were like this then. A girl we knew, this is it, bit of the old moat. A girl we knew, daughter of a doctor in town, was walking through here one day, and she came across the body of a man who'd hung himself from one of the trees. Nice, huh? But yeah, so here we go. See if I can get down here without sliding. Not 12 anymore. So yeah, the moat, or possibly the fish ponds. Maybe it just had fish ponds around it in a moat. What can I say? I don't know. There's very little information about the castle itself. But there's a duck. Hello, duck. Nice. Castle Field. Very special place. The time I spent here is almost the hanky. Yeah. Much fun bombing around here on our racer bikes as well. We'd do that. So yeah, this is slap bang in the middle of Higham Ferrers. And it was another of my playgrounds. Used to come here with, let's see, let's do some more name checks. Let's do a roll call, shall we? Jason Blair, Wayne Partridge, Mark Partridge, Simon Oakley, possibly Robert Nourish back in the day, Paul Bailey. Who else? Who can I remember? Whoa, look at that. Trees fell over. Somewhere along there is a culvert where the water drained from what, you see them houses there, behind them used to be the old railway sidings. There's no railway there now, there's no track there, although there's a little bit that Rushden Historical Transport have done from the old station in Rushden, the next town along. Isn't that beautiful? And they basically do trips up and down the line. I think it's only about half a mile, but you know, a little bit of railway where the railway used to be, and that's how we used to be able to get to Wellingborough back in the day before Mr. Beeching. Anyway, you've now seen Castlefield and the moat and another of my old stomping grounds. We've got a good collection of fat pigeons. Okay, now we're at the west entrance to the park. Looking back, the moat slash fish ponds to my right there, the mound there, and the main field there. And this would have been where the castle gate was. This didn't used to be blocked off. There was just a little low wall. There still is a little low wall behind there. We used to sit on that and dangle our feet over the edge. And it was all jolly. And this bit in front here would have been where the castle ruins are. The church is that way. So, I don't know how accurate that map was. But I do know that there's a wall still from the castle that was the Dovecote. And that is in the back of the Green Dragon Hotel. Now, friend of the family, or distant acquaintance, or distant relative, John Bodfish used to live in that little cottage there. Smoked like an absolute chimney, and had a series of incredibly tinny and clapped out Skodas back when they were crappy. That's Chicheley College, which I believe Henry VIII shut down. That's recently had some work to strengthen that wall, and it looks like they've done a good job. They've capped it off as well. That's great. That needed doing, because the water was getting in on there, and with freezing and melting and everything, it was splitting, and it looks like they've fixed that up nice. Done a good job of that. It's round the back there where the Dovecote wall is, but look, we've got something going on. There's a market on the market square. John Lee and Son Motorcycles, that has been there forever, and I'm really glad that it's still there now. That Higham Vets, well, the one on the right I think used to be a chemist. The one on the left was White House Videos. They would rent videos out back in the day. The old house was just an old house. I'll show you St Mary's Church in a minute. But this is nice. I wonder if there's any local yokels. Probably not. I bet they're all the new intake. Hello, hello there. Those blokes in the whistle and flutes look a bit familiar. Town councillors or something. Oh boy. Okay. No, sorry, it's alright. Now, Higham Eye Care over there used to be Billington's. It was a toy shop. I'd go there for all my toys and tricks and jokes and whatever. Market Square and Cenotaph. Wow. I bet I know nobody here. Higham Newsagents used to be the NSS. buy my comics from there. Mercy in Action used to be the Midland Bank. Now then, twinned with Hackenberg. I went there when we first twinned. It's beautiful, in the Westerwald. Nice town. Yeah, I used to get all my comics from there. Used to wash dishes in the back of the carriage house over Christmases to earn a little bit of money, and of course free beer, which was great. I think these used to be posh frock shops. Anyway, I'm going to have a look around the market. Right, Saffron Road Junior School. And when I was a tot, that building there with the weathercock on the top, I don't know if you can even see it, everything seems so much smaller when I'm filming it. That used to be the infants, and this was the juniors. Possibly still is, again. Basically the boys would go in that way, that was the boys' changing room, girls would go in that way, that was the girls' changing room, but it was a co-ed school. That room there, nice to see they've changed the windows. They used to have to open the windows at the top with a great long pole with a hook on the end to open the windows. And it was a bit breezy and a bit drafty. But that room there was the room where I first graduated from pencil to fountain pen. A great long, messy, drippy, blotty school fountain pens that all had bent nibs and you couldn't write with them no matter how good you were. That was the band club. I suspect it probably still is. Milton Street down the bottom there was where Wayne Partridge, Mark Partridge and the Partridge clan lived. Also at the bottom it would go down to some allotments which I believe have all been built on. So yeah, I remember sitting on them steps there waiting for Mum to pick me up when I was an infant there. And I remember having pirate stories read to us. There was like the Emerald Pirate, the Sapphire Pirate and things like that. Yeah, checking out a load of perfectly good stuff there. This is what later became the infant school, and this mound, I'm reliably informed, is an old wartime bomb shelter. So there you go. But I remember going to infant school there when it was just brand new. Didn't seem that long ago, but it was. There used to be a cracking sweet shop down here as well. Oh yeah, and Andrew Clark used to live down there as well, who I'd swap Star Wars characters and punk records with. Right, that's the old Saffron Road Cemetery. This is the old Saffron Road playground. Got to be careful filming because there's all those kids, and it's you're a pervert if you film children having fun or something now, I don't know. But anyway, that is Spring Gardens, which is homes for the elderly. Very, very difficult to get. My granddad managed to get one towards the end of his life, but the shock of moving killed him. Shocking. My Aunt Marjorie lived in the bottom ones as well. But those houses there, behind the trees, never used to be there. There used to be Saxby's tannery or leather factory. And yeah, there used to be a mural back in the 70s. There used to be a mural on the wall which just simply said, "Out D-Men Out." And that was a play on Out Demon Out by the Edgar Broughton Band, which was a popular song in about 1971. And obviously I think we probably had an influx of workers from the D area, the north, Scotland, and the local workers resented them coming down. That's what I can think. Out D-Men Out. There's Out Demon Out. Look at this. Cricket. I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to record this. Oh, nice one. Yeah. You normally only really see that in outlying villages. But there's St Mary's Church again, poking her nose up, and that way back up goes to the infant school. So where are we going now? You'll have seen my infant school, my junior school, some of my old stomping grounds. Oh, I've got to show you this, the fish ponds. Now these were the fish ponds for the college. Now that's the back, I don't know if you can even see it, that's the back of Chicheley College there. That I was mentioning about the fix the front wall. Iron Bowls Club, you never used to be able to see that. That hedge used to go all the way around. And there used to be a fir tree along here that we used to climb to look over the hedge. We always used to come here as kids. I mean just here. To catch newts, get frog spawn, get frogs, tadpoles, sometimes sticklebacks. I'd imagine it's still good for all of that now, but we used to play in here. And it is just the same, but not as well trod. We used to play in here, used to ride bikes around here. And as I said, we used to get newts, and I bet you there's newts in there still. It's perfect weather for them. Perfect weather, perfect habitat. Alright. Of course, yeah, notable names that I used to play with around here. James Smith Gamby, Dave Barlow, David Buglas, I believe Troy Kane, Matthew Core or Matthew Cooper. Who else? Girls, because we all played together. Loretta Green. Probably Sasha. From the farm that we sort of saw at the beginning. Let's try and think of other people. Julie Collins. Michelle Dunmore. Emma Walker. Probably not. Michelle Andrews, who lived down that way, and Michelle Maines, I believe she's called now. So if you're watching this, Michelle, you remember? Loretta Green. We used to have the sports day down here. Ideal. A little bit lumpy for a football field, but made where the ball went very interesting, didn't it? Okay, let's go through the college. We'll go around the back through this gate here, because I want to show you where we would make. Since it's about that time, we would have a maypole in here. We would have a maypole in here, and we would dance around the maypole, little tiny tots from the school, and celebrate May, little knowing that the maypole was a big fertility symbol, and the maidens dancing around it were offering themselves to a giant phallus. I'm sure they wouldn't have allowed us to do that if the school had known. Hey ho, c'est la vie. So yeah, this is the college. Used to play here a lot. Used to try to climb up that wall. Used to fail trying to climb up that wall. But again, they take really good care of this, and I'm really glad they've shored up that wall. Really glad. Oh, and they're working on this bit too. Excellent. That's fantastic. I'm so glad. Yeah, they're really looking after it. I just hope they can get some use out of that building, because that'll be good. Get some life into it. Nice, 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 nice. Very pleased. Right, I'm going to cut through here and go back to the market square. Catch you in a bit. Okay, now I thought I'd gone around the back of the Green Dragon, and the castle field is over that way with the moat and everything. And here's the Dovecote, which we believe used to serve the castle. Okay, so there you go. There's the town gate, there's the moat, outer ward, Norman stronghold or upper ward, the rampart was along there. So that's the castle field. That's the west gate. Here's the lower ward. And we're here. The Dove House, which was for the castle and probably the only bit that's left of it. Absolutely chuffed it's still here. Can't very well neglect the church and the bead house and the old college, school, whatever, with its ancient graffiti. Oh, I hope they start the organs again. My sister got married in there. Now, I'm not religious. I don't believe all the Jesus stuff. I'm sorry, I just don't. But I bloody love the churches. I love the architecture, and I love what they managed to do all those years ago with stone, and how high they would build without the aid of cranes. Incredible. And I love this building too, with the local ironstone. That's the bead house. I think we've probably got a wedding going on by the besuited gents that were sitting outside having a quick fag. I'm thinking probably a wedding, so I'll get out of the way in time for that. But this is the most beautiful Church of St Mary, Higham Ferrers, and this is the bead house, and I'm coming over here for a particular reason, because at the end of the bead house there is a raised area, a stage, and under the stage is a storage area through that little door there. Now, ooh, I don't even know if you can see through there. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. You can probably just make out 1974 or something there. My friend, something is low. Lower your nut and avoid a blow or something. So that basically leads to the area under the stage in the Bede House, so named after Bede, the historian monk of fame. And a beautiful day. And a beautiful day, and what a beautiful place to enjoy the beautiful day. Okay, so the market is gone. Wasn't here long, was it? Guess it was just till lunch or something like that. So I can show you about the market square now that it's empty. It's all bylaws. It's all bylaws in Higham Ferrers. Well, I'll tell you something. That used to be the chemist. I used to buy toffee lollies with banana flavouring in them when I was a wee youngster. Now it's a posh shop where you can buy ridiculously priced ceramic tat for rich people. Hey ho, they seem to like it. So all of this stuff, all of these beautiful, beautiful buildings. Oh, the Ashgrove Clinic. Osteopathy and complementary healthcare. Nice. But look at the buildings, look at the buildings. Is this not a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place? Like, was this a coaching house? This building, Wilson Brown Solicitors. Now, around the corner here, it was the doctors. I remember coming here, I honestly do remember coming here as a baby for my inoculations, going in that side door and having, I don't know, measles inoculation or something, whatever, either in injection or on a sugar lump, as they used to in the old days. Yeah, we'd go in that door. When I was a baby, I do remember stuff from when I was a baby. People don't believe me, but I honestly remember stuff from as far back as when I was 1.5 years old. You can believe it or not, it's true. I really feel I must apologise for the jerkiness of my filming. Apparently I'm a bit of a stomper as I walk, so things are a little bit juddery and jerky. Yeah, this is me walking up the Queensway. Basically this is the route I would take every single day to go to the school, my secondary school, which was the Ferrers. I was a founder pupil. When the school opened, I was one of the first intake. Now I came there as a second year student, having done my first year at the Rushden Boys School, which is another bit of my history that has been demolished. Yeah, the Rushden Boys School, which is gone. It merged with the Ferrers and with the Huxlow in Earthlinborough, and this is the way I would go to school every day, calling in on this place with the big hedge to pick up Stambo, David Stanbridge. He was a good mate of mine. He's done quite well for himself. He now owns an aircraft manufacturing company, Swift Aeronauticals or something, I don't know. They make light aircraft, really high-tech ones with sweeping wings. Oh my god. Now his mum wouldn't be happy with seeing what's happened to her lawn. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, that's where he used to live, and he was my mate Stan. We used to go all sorts of places. We used to go to air shows together. When he got a car, I remember tanking it down to London in this beaten up very beaten up white Ford Capri, which was 50% rust, tanking it down there. This was the days before catalytic converters and things like that, so it was belching smoke and we were tanking down the motorway. He still got a good turn of speed out of it, but yeah, so we basically tanked it down to London, minged round a couple of roundabouts and then tanked it all the way back again. Now that car, he ended up getting £10 for it in scrap. Probably about 2 weeks after this trip to London. I think he was just thrashing it to get the last bit of life out of it, strangling the horse before it dies. So yeah, if there is one, I guess this be it, my alma mater. I made and lost friends here, made and lost girlfriends here, and we never used to have a big gate like this. Oh my lord, it's like a prison now. Never used to have none of that. And I thought we were well behaved. I guess we were. By comparison, we must have been angels. Now it looks like they lock everyone in. So this is the old railway line that leads to those sidings that I mentioned. Can't see much that way. Ain't really much to go that way, but this way they've tarmacked it. Now when I was a lad, you climbed over a fence and you went down a gully to get into the cut, the railway cutting that led back up behind us to the industry. And this way goes to Rushden Station, which is still there, although, as I say, it's owned and run by Rushden Historical Transport, so it's not a functioning travel station. You can go up and down the line when they decide to put a train on, but mostly they renovate rolling stock and things like that. But we're going down this way because I want to take you to a certain field and a certain brook where we had a certain rope swing over the brook, if it's still there. Look, a blue one, nice. Okay, now I just want you to take a minute, because it just occurred to me that one of the things I most missed about being around here are these sounds. The birds, distant chatter, sound of insects, maybe a distant dog barking. So although we're in what I believe is either the smallest town or the largest village, as it used to have the claim to fame, you really feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere, despite all the more recent development. Isn't it beautiful? Do you remember when I said, I remember when all this were fields? Well, I remember when all this were fields. Now I know that road there goes down into Rushden. This is part of that bypass that's gone over the Stannick Road and everything, but unfortunately it's gone over a footpath that we used to take across the fields to a place where there was a rope swing over the brook, and also to a field where we spend an awful lot of time in the summer, basically being teenagers, having laughs, having smokes, having a beer or two, and making love to our ladies. Now I was really hoping that I'll be able to get back to that field and just excuse me, I'm choking up, and just sort of like transport myself back for a few minutes and to a time when things were absolutely fucking brilliant. Seems I can't see if they've paved paradise and put up a parking lot, as Joni Mitchell would say. Seems that's the way of all things. I don't like it. I could probably get there if I go the other way, the Kimbolton Road. I believe you can still get up that way, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll see. If I get there, you'll see, because it'll be tacked on at the end after this. If not, I don't know. We'll see what we end up with, eh? But I've been to a lot of my favourite stomping grounds as when I was a kid. I've been to all my schools, or as best as I can. I did manage to get a look around the Ferris School last time I came to Higham, and had a seriously good look. All the gates were open and you could just walk in, and they didn't have all them blooming bars up. So I don't know what the kids have been doing recently. I mean, when I was there, the only thing that happened was somebody got shotgunned. Well, actually, that was just after I left. It was nothing to do with me. Anyway, so you see my schools. I've mentioned, name-checked some of my old mates. I just want to go to that field. Keep watching, see if we manage it. Catch up in a bit. So, just quickly, this is the old library. Now the bay windows at the bottom, at the front on the left was the office, or the back of the reception. The one on the right was the reading room, where you'd go and read your newspapers. If you were one of the town elders, you would go through those double doors, past the reception on the left. You'd have the reading room on the right. The old library, yeah. If only it was still the library. Didn't have that before. Same doors though. You get your books out here. Can you read that? And I would, in the early days, build up my record collection by buying the discarded LPs, because you'd be able to rent out LPs from there. Hey, Castle Fields, St Mary's Parish Rooms, and a lovely little sundial, which tells us that it's 1:30. Wonder if it's right. And how do you adjust that for daylight saving? Eh? How do you put a sundial forward an hour or back an hour? It's obviously not been put forward or back an hour, has it? It's 2:30. So like I was saying, yes, there was definitely a wedding going on at the church. All these people in their glad rags. Established 1874, rebuilt 1906. I think these might have been John White's, because we've got John White Close there. Now, John White was a very successful businessman in the boot and shoe industry, and yeah, he just so happens to be my great uncle. But he's so removed in the family way that we never got any of his money. And we never got any of his fame. But yeah, related to John White. He was a big name. Made most of the boots, made loads of boots for the First World War soldiers. Yeah. So yeah, we're now at the back of the castle field. Over there, behind that big hedge, is the moat where we saw the duck. And I'm still trying to find that field with the brook and the swing so I can have a bit of a cry. Anyway, onwards and downwards, eh? New road. Old road. This place, Edward Woodley and Sons, had its own little unique spin on things. They used to have guard geese. They'd have a little pond with geese in it to deter trespassers and burglars and so forth. Absolutely crazy. No, but another thing about this area is that you can see the church over there, possibly, if it's showing up. But that way is the old railway sidings as well. Now, the thing about that, it's another little place that I used to go and play as a lad, when it was just wasteland with a few remaining old buildings and sheds and everything from when the railway was there. This is historical. I hope this stays up forever, because it's a little bit of history. Someone's got a little bit of a fire in a I don't know, a tin. Anyway, this is the way, hopefully, to get to that field and that swing. But this is also the way that used to be the depot for. It started off as, now my dad was a lorry driver after he finished working at Ravenston importing the animals for zoos and whatever. He became a lorry driver. Now he drove for, see if I can get it right, Townsend Carriers, which used to have green livery with red lettering down the side, almost like the Rizzler lettering. Ooh, this would be it. This would be where it was. Townsend Carriers got took over by Wilkinson Transport, and then they went around with white and yellow stripe trailers. Wilkinson Transport then got took over by Lex, which was another big business, and Lex Wilkinson in its turn got took over by FedEx, and then FedEx pulled out, My dad had since retired at this point. FedEx pulled out, and I believe Lex Wilkinson carried on, or Lex on their own carried on for a little while. And now it apparently is RJC. So there you go. My dad's old gaff. And this road, which is the road to the field, appears to be discontinued now. Where the F am I supposed to go? Am I ever gonna get to that field? I do hope I can still get. I guess the road is rejoined by the new one at some point, but yeah. So that's me dad's old lorry yard. Who knew? And they used to do the most amazing Christmas parties when I was a kid. It was great. Right, I clearly can't continue this way, so back I go. This road that we're walking up now apparently joins on to the old road that I was trying to follow that came to a dead end, where the bypass cut over it or something. These bypasses don't have bewilder me, but apparently where it turns at the top there is a continuation of where it ended a while back when I was talking about my dad's lorry yard. Anyway, so with a bit of luck we might even get to this damn field, and you'll just see a field, and I'll be going, oh, isn't it beautiful? And you'll be going, it's a field. It's my field, it's special to me, alright? Have patience. Seriously. What a beautiful sky. What a beautiful day. What a lovely way to spend it. I'm on the right track. I don't think we're far now. But can you see? Can you see? Why, I fucking love it round here. Oh my god. I so want to come home. I so want to come home. Very little time left on the card, I'm afraid. Battery's about to go, and I'm about to run out of SD card. But we're here, and so somebody else is rambling, and they're over there rambling. This is the stream. I know it's not much, but it was still wet if you fell in. And this was the field. So this is where we used to come, drink beer, snog the lasses, smoke fags, maybe have a spliff if we were feeling particularly daring, muck about, swing across that raging torrent down there on a bit of rope. And that's it. And I think this is the best place in the world for me to be right now. And isn't it beautiful? Come on, people. This is why I love England. Look at her. She's so beautiful. Stole my art, and she's keeping it, because I could never love another like I love England. Look at her. Look at her. In her new clothes, off with wonderful greens. The beautiful blue sky above her. I'm getting all poetic now because I'm where I've been trying to get to all bloody day. I'm here. I'm here. That tree, that oak, I think is probably where we had the rope swing. We are talking probably about 1988. So how long ago is that? 98, 2008, 2018. About 34 years, not much. At 34 years. Well, here we are. And I'm a happy bunny. Obviously not as happy as I was on that particular day, but a happy bunny nonetheless. And I want to thank you for sticking through this great long bloody video of a madman returning home. But I appreciate your support, I appreciate you sticking around, and cheers for, what's the word, tolerating an old bugger. Yeah, this will be where the swing was. Andy, if you're watching this, bud, you remember? Cheek, if you're watching this, do you remember? Stambo, if by some weird chance you're watching this, do you remember? Nettie, were you with us? Maggie, did you come down? You might have done with Ian, but this was it. This was it. This was where we had the rope swing. And I swear to God it was wetter back then. But then, so were a lot of things. Tatty Bye from the most beautiful, beautiful county in the most beautiful, beautiful country in the world. God bless you.
Life, the universe, and everything